Jack's questioning provokes Billy's ire, but Chance steps in just in time to defuse the situation by spoiler. Becomes intoxicated. Show for the young and the uneasy. Sally overhears an altercation. Jack worries about Billy, and Chelsea surprises Abby on today's The Young and the Restless. Billy taunts Jack about employing Adam at Jabba at Crimson Lights. In particular, Jack is interested in Billy's thoughts on Chancellor Winter's purchase of the Grand Phoenix. It is his dream to build a high-end shop within the hotel. In Billy's mind, he's trying to change the subject away from Adam. Jack would rather not have to defend his hiring decisions, despite feeling bad about how he made Billy feel. His new role as co-CEO requires him to back Adam no matter what. Is it better for Billy if he discusses the shop with Lily or Billy? Billy's announcement to Jack that he's leaving the podcast to focus on his role as Chief Operating Officer for Lily comes as a shock. Abby and Chloe discuss the Ashland investigation at Society, where they agree that they are relieved that Chance and Kevin no longer have to spend so much time on it. Abby is relieved that the spouses will soon be returning home. Chloe is optimistic that she and Kevin will be able to help Kevin and Chance work out their differences. Tension? Abby asks. Chloe retreats and realizes she should not have spoken up. It's fine, Abby reassures her. Conversation moves on to Chloe's new position at Newman Media. It's great, but Chloe wishes Adam would stop lingering around. He seems to have a grip on Sally that's annoying. Abby feels absolutely no compassion for her, as she is getting exactly what she deserved for becoming involved with Adam. While playing in the park, Adam inquires as to the origin of Chelsea's plan to take Connor and pay a visit to Anita. It's best for her to stay away from Geno City and think things over. For her, at least, Adam sees this as a decent plan. Not Connor, though. He hasn't even started school yet. If she's thinking of a more permanent change, the answer is a resounding no. Chelsea objects. She has no desire to relocate, and instead wishes to merely pay a short visit. She advises that Connor attend his former boarding school during the day instead. Adam refuses to leave since he will miss his pals and soccer. Chelsea is frustrated because he refuses to back her up. She sobs as she admits that she can feel her old problems resurfacing, and that she absolutely must make a difference. Adam can hear her, but Connor is only a kid, not a life preserver. Repairing her is not his responsibility. There is a credibility gap in corporate zero-emissions programs. Chance phones Abby from the Crimson Lights patio to make plans. He cuts the call short when Sally enters, and he starts to wonder if he should thank her for keeping the Ashland lock case under wraps. She says Adam presented him with the proof and asked her to share it with the world. She thinks Chance faced a similar dilemma and had to make a difficult choice. She admits that she shared Adam's proposition with Victoria and Nick. They were both obligated to toe the Newman family line. Chance says he didn't toe the line and that the facts wouldn't allow him to bring charges against anyone. Sally understands, and she tells him she's closing the chapter on the matter for good. For everyone's sake, Chance hopes this is all over. Jack, inside the coffee shop, is worried that Billy has abandoned a passion. Billy claims that being by Lily's side is exactly where he wants to be because it's so fulfilling, and it allows him to carry on his mother's work. As far as Jack is concerned, he is exerting tremendous effort in order to convince himself. Billy says that he is blaming him for all of Billy's problems with his new employees. When Billy gets a promotion at work, Jack says he couldn't be happier for him and offers his assistance. It doesn't even faze Billy. He couldn't have made it without Jack Abbott's sage advice. Adam, while at the park, is of the opinion that a visit to Chelsea's mom isn't all she needs. He is aware of the impact that Ray's death had on her and the unexpected path her career has followed as of late. The way he talks down to her, and the fact that he's forcing her to go to therapy when she's the way she is because of him, both set Chelsea off. In reality, all Chelsea wants is some quiet time with her baby. Sally comes up from behind them, concerned, as they continue to dispute. Adam won't let Chelsea escape with Connor while she's in such a fragile mental state. He insists she stay and face her problems head-on. Chelsea is fuming that she would prefer not to have met Connor at all. She then rushes out of the room. "What was that all about?" Sally says as she approaches Adam. Adam's major worry relates to Chelsea. Though he had witnessed steady improvement, her recent behavior has been quite unpredictable. Sally knows how worried he is since she has been on the receiving end of some of her wrath. Adam is worried about Connor's safety and won't let her take him to visit her mother. She did not take his refusal well. Abby worries for Chelsea's well-being at society. She initially says that everything is ok, but then changes her tune and claims that she is not fine and is not sorry. "I haven't been okay for a long time, and I am not okay now." After Ray's death, she blathers on about how everything changed after that and how she had finally gotten back on track thanks to the podcast she did with Billy, but it was abruptly cut short. She really needs some silence and privacy. So she would appreciate it if all the local amateur therapists would just quiet up. Abby just stares at the situation in disbelief. In a quiet moment at Crimson Lights, Jack tells Billy that he isn't cut out for the business world. Nothing ever seems to go right. You shouldn't become too invested in that since it's not where your passions are. Billy left the podcast in an effort to escape the vicious cycle he keeps bringing up. He'll help out where Lily's at. "What about what you need?" Jack exclaims. Is that why he wants to work at Chancellor Winters? Billy confides in Jack that working as a professional gambler would be his ideal occupation. A grunt escapes Jack. "It's exactly what you want to hear," Billy assures him. He returns to the topic of Jack's decision to hire Adam. Jack is well aware that he can never forgive Adam, but that is not the point now. "There's something I want to tell you, and it concerns us. Perhaps you believe I trust Adam more than you." "You do," Billy says. Jack reassures Billy that he is his brother and that they are incomparable. "A constant in your life is my promise to you. I will never leave your side." While the two were playing in the park, Sally expressed her empathy for Chelsea by telling Adam that she understood how he felt. As someone who has experienced separation from loved ones, she can empathize with those who are in this situation. She doesn't hold him responsible, but she does see her perspective. She says, "I shall see you around," before leaving. Abby feels terrible that Chelsea is having a hard time at work. Chelsea feels terrible about putting her through it. Her recent dispute was with Adam, one of the guys who have been encouraging her to stop moping around and start living. With any luck, Abby will meet someone with whom she can have a more fulfilling relationship. Chelsea and he will not reconcile, but they will share parental responsibilities. Abby considers how challenging it can be to deal with family matters. Chelsea is cheering you on. She finishes off her drink and asks for another. There is worry on Abby's face. When Chance finally arrives, Abby gives him a passionate kiss before recommending that he drive Chelsea home after she's had a few too many. At the pub, Chance approaches a talkative Chelsea and offers to take her home. She politely declines but has trouble rising from the stool. She agrees to go with Chance, and the two of them get into the car and head out. Sally at Newman Media wants to know if Chloe has spoken with Chelsea recently. To Chloe's astonishment, she actually cares for her. Sally says she overheard Adam and Chelsea having a fight and was really distressed by what she saw. As Chloe sees it, this is how Adam treats the women he cares about. Sally maintains that things are looking well for Sharon and Adam, and that she is hoping for them to reconcile. Chloe is skeptical and continues to discuss the lasting effects of her connection with Adam. Sally agrees with her, and she doesn't want to keep discussing how true this is in every relationship. Chloe feels the same way. Sally tells Adam, who is standing outside the door, that she should count her blessings that their relationship ended before she yelled at him at the park. At the entrance to her suite, Chelsea apologizes to Chance, and they have a conversation on the dangers of having others prejudge how you really feel. She can believe in his intentions, he says. Chelsea complains that she doesn't have a place to call her own, and Chance says that wherever they are with their children is home. Chelsea takes Connor's homemade placard and proclaims to Chance that he is, indeed, her superhero mentor. A grin spreads across both of their faces as Chance strikes a stance. Billy is bitter at Crimson Lights because he believes Jack is envious of him for employing Adam, and he has no desire to go back to Jabbat. Jack is looking for the cause of his unease. In his podcast, he expressed a sense of disorientation and the absence of something in his life. What you're experiencing is a symptom. What gives you that impression? His suggestion that Jack is the one with problems is met with skepticism from Billy, who thinks he's reaching. Perhaps he fears that he will succeed him in the business world. Jack is concerned that Billy will leave the podcast, and he wonders why Billy would be so upset if what Jack has said is false. When Billy leaves, he walks out.